Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 27th of February. I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then go through each of the 12 signs from Aries through to Pisces, which you can relate to in terms of your sun or your ascendant. The choice is yours. Now, as this week begins, there is a magnificent conjunction between Venus and Jupiter, and it is also going to get a lot of comment. And rightly, these are the two planets of the two benefics in traditional astrology: lesser Venus, greater Jupiter. Venus is Jupiter's daughter in mythology. But in the sign of Aries, of course, Venus is technically detrimented. But I think what Venus does is just gives us in Aries a greater desire to go for what we want, the things that we're passionate about. So Jupiter, of course, can also be very dynamic in Aries. So that's all a lot to do with thrust, and it could create, by being in the moment and having the confidence to listen to our instincts, which is a very Aries type of energy, some good fortune could unfold. But there is also a quarter moon on Monday in the sign of Gemini, and that's house 3. The sun is in house 12. A third house 12 house square suggests that if we're a little bit too open with information, especially to people we don't know very well, or we let something slip that should be kept in confidence, or we get caught up in some gossip doing the rounds, it's not necessarily going to be a good thing. Also, Venus and Jupiter could make us a little bit too open, a bit too spontaneous. So I think it's important to measure what we say in a careful way. And this is emphasised furthermore because by the middle of the week, Mercury comes into a very powerful conjunction with Saturn. And of course, Mercury is exalted in the sign of Aquarius, and Saturn is about to say au revoir to this sign and move into the sign of Pisces. So they're both about to move because Mercury moves on Thursday into Pisces, where of course it's also detrimented. But this just suggests that when it comes to long-term plans or our friendships, the need to really be clear about what we want and what we say is going to be absolutely essential. If you're not quite sure about a situation, something could seem rather oppressive. Maybe it's someone's point of view. Maybe someone can seem a little bit dour or limited in their response. But I take you back to that quarter moon, because that provides the backdrop of energy for the whole of this week. And that's suggesting that we don't buy in too much to some of the negativity that might be doing the rounds, and we embrace some of the positivity that we can get from Venus's conjunction with Jupiter, which itself will come into a peak on the 2nd of March. So a lot of exciting possibilities this week, but please stay with me for your full sun sign forecast. But if you would like to grow beyond this zodiac insight, if you give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data, of time, date and place of birth, I can provide you with a life roadmap that can give you an awful amount of extra information to help guide your moves. You can become much more intimately aware of some of the patterns which have repeated themselves in your life, the more challenging ones and the more positive ones. Also, in my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast. Now, these reports are totally unique to each person I produce them for, so they give you an opportunity to gain searing insights above just zodiac horoscopes. So Taurus, your week commencing the 27th of February forecast could see you really reminiscing about someone from your past. Warm thoughts can come up when you think about an old friendship, people you knew at school or college or previous colleagues, or perhaps even a romantic partner. If you have been unable to see people, perhaps due to the restrictions around COVID, who live at a distance, The combination of Jupiter, the planet of international travel, with Venus could also see you wanting to pick up the phone and make contact. But Venus conjunct Jupiter, and of course Venus is your ruler, could also see you thinking very carefully about relationships in general. The 12th house, where they're located, can be a time of very deep reflection. Is a relationship working quite as you want? If you don't feel nurtured and nourished in the way that you crave, this particular aspect can really flag up a deep need. And because the sun is in the part of your horoscope to do with the future, and if it is to do with differing values between you and the friend or the friends you have, the quarter moon can also bring that into focus. But there can be some serious conversations at work too, with Mercury merging with Saturn. But I think at least you will know more about where you stand on a key issue. But Mercury then glides its way into your sector of sociability. And the next couple of weeks, despite the more sheltered energy of Venus and Jupiter, could help you to get greater clarity on some of your associations, or reach out to those people or that person you haven't heard from for some while. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Taurus. Please like, comment or subscribe.